everyone, we're live again with part 2 of The Legend of Beuveretta game dev. This game is basically going to be a first person RPG game, influenced a lot by things like Dragon Quest, to some extent Skyrim, and of course The Legend of Zelda. So in the first part of the live stream, we basically just blocked out some rough ideas for the level design. So we've got like a little beach here with the shore, some triangle, cone-shaped islands, and we just sort of blocked out like, okay, this is going to be like the sandy area leading to the islands. There's going to be some cliffs that you can ascend, and there's a massive one at the end here that you can ascend, and that's basically your main objective for this area to get up to this point. But there's a lot of side content in the game, so that's what we're going to flesh out today. We're going to try and do more level design for some of these islands and some other things off to the side of the map, and another few things I wanted to add to the game since last week. So that's what we'll do today, and I might have time to start actually sculpting some of the assets that we'll need. So some rocks, some trees, some grass, you know, some seashells, that sort of thing. And I'll try and sculpt as many of those as I possibly can, and then we'll paint them all and get the sand looking nice. And once we've got like the majority of the level design done, then I can start to like place all these objects. But the plan is just to make as many things as I possibly can. So like the treasure chest as well, so that we can open those up in little secret areas. But since this is only week 2, and I'm not working on this off stream, this has just been exclusively on stream, there's obviously there's going to be a lot of work still to be done. Okay. I'm just going to update a few things here before I get started. I'll need to bring the chat up as well. But my idea is that I want to get this area fleshed out, detailed, get all the quest design done, add all the gameplay, the enemies and things like that. So maybe by like the 5th or 6th stream, I might have something that's sort of polished and ready to go, and then I can release this, get some testing done, so you guys can play it if you have Dreams. And that's kind of the frequency I want to keep it at. So like every like 5-6 weeks, release a new area, a new location, and before you know it, we'll have like a full chapter pretty much finished. But it's going to take some time, and like I mentioned in the last stream, I'm not always going to be like exclusively making the same game every week. You know, it just depends on my mood. So right now I still have a lot of ideas for this game, so I want to keep this going for now. The survival horror game, we'll probably continue that at some point, but that's the idea. So as long as I can release something every like 1.5 months, just to release in Dreams, get something playable, and then it's more manageable, and eventually we'll probably see something closer to like a full game or a full chapter, basically in no time. Okay, so before I get started, I'm just going to bring the chat up and start fleshing out some of the side islands here. Okay, so let me just bring the chat up here. Okay, all good. So let's get started then. So I created like It wasn't even like proper objects, it was really just me saying like, okay, this is a rock, this is a chest, you know. That was going to be like a tree. Then I just started blocking it all out to get the rough idea. One thing I wanted to do, one idea that I got here is that when you ascend up this cliff here, this was supposed to be the main path to get to the next area. But I'm thinking like, because you go off left here to get a chest, rather than just block this off, I might expand this a little bit so you can explore a bit more. So I might put like another bridge that goes this way. So I'm just gonna take this and put this here. Again, I don't really need to be too precise. I'm just still kind of just throwing it together. But I'll try and make it like roughly the same length as the other bridge. And then I'll just build like another I think I'm using the same blocks for everything. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. So we'll just imagine that this is the other cliff here, and I'll just rotate this just to give it a little more structure. Again, just getting the basic idea really, because if you come down from this part here on the map, if you go through here, this is basically all side content, so not everyone's going to explore and see everything. But I didn't want it to be like, okay, on this side it's pretty much a pretty straight beach here, so when you come to this side I didn't want it to be like the exact same. So if I make like a few extra cliffs here, maybe that will make it a bit more interesting. So once you come through this area, rather than being like, oh wow, this is a big open area, I can go left or right, it looks quite expansive. I'll try and like filter it a little bit, so I'll probably make a cliff that's just kind of blocks your view a little bit. So it's like, if you do come down this way to begin with, you can maybe say like, okay, I can see there's a bridge here, and you can see there's another bridge here that leads to another sort of section. So maybe that will encourage people to, or give them a bit more of a hint to sort of say, right, this is where we can go if we're lost, or if we want to find extra content. Because obviously I want the game to have as much content as possible and encourage players to explore. Hey, Stu, nice to see you again. Just continuing the block out here. You know, nothing fancy. Just try to think how. See, I don't know how wide this beach is going to be yet, so I don't know. I think I'm just going to like design the top part first, because if I design the top part, I'll know how much space the players got to walk around in. So just try to create like a really crappy base floor here for now. I'm just gonna throw a few things here and there. I'll try and make it like it's not all like straight, you know, like you actually need to go up a little bit. Right. Hope you're doing well, Stu. Did you decide what you're going to do today? Are you going to play some more No Man's Sky, or are you going to create a little bit? Still need to give No Man's Sky a proper chance. It's not really a game that I've gave much thought about, to be honest. I'm just going to throw this together for now. Might actually curve this round actually, just to bring it onto the sea a little bit as well. We are debating that at this very moment. Have Fallout 4 on the now? No, and Sky is just incredible now. Yeah, I'll need to give it a proper chance. It's like, I never played it on launch, so I'm not like saying like, oh, it was bad at launch, so I don't want to play it. I've got no opinions on that. It's just, I waited until I got updated, and it had tons of updates, and apparently they fixed the opening section and they made it more streamlined and all those kind of things. But then I played it and it was like the worst experience ever, because the start of the game, it was like, I don't know if I was on fire or I couldn't breathe, I was losing health constantly, and then there was like tons of tutorials and text on the screen, and it was showing me my inventory, and it was like full of different things, and then I had to go collect stuff, and like it was just throwing so much information at me at the one time, whilst I was worried that my guy was going to die. And I'm like, oh my god, this is not how you start a game. You know, you gradually let the player get into it, but for me it was horrendous. And I don't know if that was just a random chance, because I know the planets are randomized, so I don't know if mine was just brutal, or if everybody starts that way. I don't know. I'll need to start another new game and see what it's like. Because it does seem cool, but like I was saying to one of my friends the other day, I can't really get into Minecraft and stuff like that, these kind of resource crafting kind of games, because anytime I try, it's like I get bored, because I need a bit more structure in my games. Like, I need to be able to say like, okay, here's an objective, do this thing, here's a bit of story. Whereas I don't know if you get that in No Man's Sky, like if there's a proper story, or, you know. I just need some kind of mission-based structure, because I don't mind like collecting things and crafting, as long as there's something, you know, keeping me going, you know. Hey Strickful, nice to see you again. How are you doing? I've tried to get into No Man's Sky like 5 times, the UI just annoys me. Yeah, apparently they always say they fix the UI and they improve it, but every time I play it, I'm like, I don't know. There's just too much information. It's like, that's what I don't like about those kind of games. It's like, there's just too much going on, you know? Like, I don't know. I think they could do a better job at introducing it to players, you know. Because even like, you know, like these cozy games that a lot of people play, like Stardew Valley and all that, I don't find them cozy at all. I find them really stressful, because I'm constantly like, okay, I need to do work basically to get this farm like looking good, you know, I need to get all these resources, you know, and it's like there's no structure, like it doesn't tell me what to do, where to go, so I just need to like figure it all out, and I just find it really, really stressful, you know. Plus there's a time dynamic, because like the day and the time goes by, and you're like, did I do enough today? I don't know, did I? Man, most planets cause your levels to drop. Oh really, so it's not just me then? Yeah, it sounds a bit brutal. There is a story, but it's mostly like text. Okay. So it's just like reading logs and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know. I suppose I don't mind, but it's probably the kind of game you need to like if you're going to like just chill out and explore, and if that's good enough for you. But for me, I need story, I need characters, you know, like it's rare I play a game that's just for playing it, you know, like roguelike games, you just play them over and over again, you know. I've still not played that Hades game, apparently that's got a story, so maybe I'll like that one. Even though it's a different genre from the whole craft and survival thing, but same idea, it's like they just let you play and get on with it. Like proper old school text adventures almost. I've never actually played an old school text adventure, if I'm being honest. I got into gaming during the Sega Mega Drive, so it was a bit after that time, you know. So I was already into like games that didn't really use text. You know, like they would give you some text at the beginning, like Streets of Rage, like, oh, the city's under attack, you know, like go save it, and that's it. There's too much elements to collect and the constant refueling. Oh, that sounds like a nightmare. I remember in Days Gone, that had a lot of fueling. Like you constantly had to fuel your bike, and you could upgrade it so that it didn't take as long, but even like at maximum you still had to fuel up quite a lot. But I didn't mind Days Gone, like I think it has its flaws, but I think I got it, you know, not too far off. But I think I just don't get on well with these craft and survival games, because it doesn't matter if it's Minecraft, if it's what else is there? There's one when you're stuck on an island. There's the forest. There's tons, but I just don't know if I can get into the genre, because I think it's past the point where it's like, is it just like I need to get like a certain kind of game to get me into it? I don't think so. I think they're all just the same, you know, like maybe it's just not my kind of genre. And it's the same with these roguelikes. It's like I really want to like them, but I just can't, you know, like there's always something that puts me off, you know. How big is this water? I can't even see because of the because of the sky, like it goes right, look, I can't even see. If I zoom out I can kinda see, but I think I'll move over a wee bit. I think it went a bit too much to the left. It doesn't really need to be central, it's just, yeah, look, that's massive. I can see the outline, basically, that's all I can see. It's kind of cool, like seeing the outline of the island and everything. Look, that's pretty cool. Right, so that's a bit too high, obviously, because it's going through the sand. Okay, we'll just leave it like that for now, because I'm going to have to update the sand and everything, and You can kind of see it if I zoom out, but the player's not going to go that far out, but I'll just... Is that even... No, it's not even that. It's... What is that? Is that the other? I think that's the other one. Let me just... Can I delete that without deleting the other one? Right. So it's like if you zoom out too much you can see the water going through it, but the player's not going to go that far anyway. I'll bring it down a little bit, just because I'm going to make like the sand kind of tail off at the end, you know, it's kind of slope down into the water once I've finalised the size of the map. Just because on this side it's more thin, and I'm kind of happy with the size of this bit, you know, I'll kind of like curve it, make it a bit more interesting. But this side is a bit fatter. I could cut it down, but I'm trying to like add some extra cliffs and some extra bits of detail and stuff here, and create some unique islands on the sides, just to make it look different from one side to the other. You're right, Swickfog. Got it. Elements and refueling, but I think that's part of the adventure. Yeah, I think you really need to enjoy that kind of gameplay, you know, like just being left alone to explore the universe, and it is quite cool, I'll admit it. Like the idea is really nice. It's just me personally, unfortunately, I need story and characters to make me care, you know. It's like if I'm going to go from planet to planet, like, I guess I'm not really like an old school role player, like, well, I'm the character and I'm going on an adventure. Like, normally I hate games where the character doesn't talk, because the character's supposed to be you. I don't really like that, because I just feel like a hollow kind of character, you know? I would much prefer playing a character that could speak, and then I can shape maybe through dialogue choices and things, but it's still them that's talking and doing things. Would you not say Final Fantasy and Resi both feature text-heavy information on what's happened? Yeah, but I would say like Final Fantasy, it's like instead of like speech, the old games had text, so you had to read everything, but it was like speech. In Resident Evil, it's like that had voice acting and cutscenes, but it had like extra info, like the notes and the journals and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know what it's like in No Man's Sky, if it's like journals and data pads, or if it's actual characters that talk to you. I'm not sure, so I can't really compare, you know. I just hate data logs in general, if that's like the main part of the story. Like, I don't mind Resident Evil because it's like it's a side thing, and the old Final Fantasy games, they're just they basically had to do text because I think the file size would have been massive. Right, just putting some placeholders for like some rocks and stuff, and obviously we'll have some more trees about, you know. I just don't know where all these things are going to go yet, so I don't really want to spend time placing them down, you know. It's really just to flesh it out a wee bit, just to see, you know. Because there's going to be this big kind of cliff here, which I'll probably need to section off here so the player can't get too close, you know. Just kind of put like a rough kind of idea of how it's going to be, you know. So it's like when the player comes around here, it's obviously a dead end. I can maybe put like, just put some like rocks here and there, you know. You won't be able to jump in the game, so it doesn't matter if there's things that you can maybe climb on. Let me see. I don't know how far I'm going to extend this, because obviously the player's going to come to this point and cross to get to an island. I just want to see, obviously that's going to be blocked off here because I don't want the player to come round here. I want them to go through this way first, so both of these paths here will be blocked at some point. So I'm probably going to extend this a little bit more, because I don't want to make this area like too huge, because then I need to fill it out with tons of different things. But I could put like another ship that got stranded here and it's just kind of stuck, you know, that'll be like another extra detail to fill out this big area. But I think I like the idea that there's another bridge here that takes you to another little island. I think it makes it a bit more interesting. So when you come through here, it's not like a big space, you know, like you'll come here, you see this bit here, it's like, oh, I need to go up here to reach this part. Same with this part, I need to get up there somehow. So I'll probably make like a little area over here. Probably, I was thinking about making like a crab island. Fight an army of crabs over this way, and then if you go down this way, there's going to be like a siren cove. So I'm thinking I will probably put like a ship that's been shipwrecked or something. Put it like at the end here maybe, and I'll stretch that cliff edge a little bit. So the siren cove will probably be a bit further, because I want the player to actually be lured all the way across, so that it feels like they're being a bit stranded from the main island. So I'll push that back a wee bit, and I'll see, like, we're just pretending this is where the cove is going to be, right? But it's just doing something like that, you know, like I'll sort of build this small little area here, you know. I'll make that a bit bigger. This is another side content area, so I want to try and put a lot of detail into the side content, because when I'm going to release this, since I'm going to release like single areas one at a time, I want there to be enough content that you could easily play this for like an hour, even though it's just one area, if you do everything in it. I know not everybody's going to do all the side content, but I'm going to try and make it so it's like, it's more worth your while, you know. I'll probably stretch this out a wee bit. Put on Dreams and suddenly being reminded of all the things I hadn't figured out yet. Man, there's tons of stuff in Dreams I've still not conquered, like sculpting characters and enemies and doing AI and all that kind of stuff. Like, God, I don't even know where I'm going to start with that, you know. but I'm obviously going to try and do it with this project. But because of the state of Dreams right now, it's more like I just don't care if things are perfect anymore. I just want to make something, you know, like, okay, if the AI is not good enough, the animations aren't good enough, who cares, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to make something that's going to be hopefully entertaining, you know. Right, so if we're over here, that looks like a good distance, I think, because it's like, obviously I'm going to push the fog back because it's disgusting, but when you come from this area here, you're going to be here. Right, you can't really see it from this angle. I might push it over a little bit because it's like you can't see it until you come here and then you see it, you know. Maybe I'll push it just a little bit to the right, so it's like when you're making a decision, you're coming here, you're like, okay, there's a cliff here, you can kind of see the crab island from here, and if you go here you can see, like, oh, there's something in the distance there, let me see what's around here. So I might push that a bit over. Obviously we'll have the shipwrecked ship over here as well, so it'll be more interesting. This whole place is going to be filled with like skeletons and just bones, people that have fallen to their death, you know, and been mauled apart by crabs. I think I've learned 10% of what Dreams has to offer. The problem is, right, there's a lot of people that are dedicated to this game and they find like these really advanced techniques, like things you would just never think about on your own. That's the kind of stuff I'm not going to do, to be honest. Like, I'm just going to keep things simple. As long as I can do the basics, I'm happy, you know? Like, I don't need to do anything fancy. Right. I don't know how far over I had to make that, because I don't want to make it too far, but I think, yeah, it still needs to come over a bit, I think. Let me put it like here. Oh, that's way too far, because that's like all the way over there. Maybe I'll turn it like that, so it's not like so straight. I'll turn it so it's kind of a little bit more at an angle, you know. Yeah, well, you can definitely see that now, because when you come here it's like right there. I think I'll move it like a little bit, because I just want it to be like, you sort of catch it, you know, but you don't fully see it. Let me put it here. I think maybe that will be okay. Maybe just a wee bit more. I went back to the second part of my animation and there were so many keyframes. I was completely lost where I left off. Last I was on it. Oh my god, I can't even imagine. Like, especially now because they updated the keyframes, so you can put everything inside an action recorder. And apparently you can like label everything now, so like you can do one timeline is just for one thing and the other timeline is for something else. And apparently you can do so much that it only takes up like 1% of the thermal. So if you have to animate now, definitely use the action recorder. I just feel sorry for anyone that needs to convert all their old animations into this action recorder, because it doesn't convert automatically, you just need to do it all over again, I think. Our problem is we don't look for help online, but when we do it's really hard to explain what we're stuck on. Yeah, so see, there's this toilet that we're trying to flush, but we don't know how to like get it clogged, you know, and then, you know, how do we randomize that and put a proper friction on, you know, the paper to feces ratio. You know, how do we do that mathematically speaking? Yeah, well, when it comes to like online help, I just don't even bother, to be honest, you know. Just, it's like, as long as like I said, as long as I can do the basics, everything will be fine. It will be fine. You know, it doesn't bother me that much if I can't do like, oh, how do you rewind time and, you know, like Prince of Persia. Like, I don't want to do any complicated things like that. I just want to make simple things, you know. This game has a sword and a shield and a bow and arrow. Like, for me, just to get all that working, I'm sure I can do it, but it's going to take a wee bit of work. Right, so I'll kind of make it like that. So when you're standing here and you look down, it's like... that's actually quite cool, because if you're standing at the start here, you look... You see the beach goes on, but then it's kind of blocked here, and then but you can kind of see that there's another island over there. But obviously I'm going to block this off with like... I don't know if I'm going to block off with like another, you know, bit like this. And then the sand is going to come in about here, and then the water's going to fill up this part, so you can't actually go around it. I'm not sure. Or if I just put like some more rocks or something, you know, to block your path. I don't know. We'll see. But I'll probably put a bunch of trees and stuff so you can't actually see what goes on too much, you know. You know our pain, I do. Just stay away from complex things. Don't try and make Devil May Cry where you have to like make complex combos and juggle people in the air and, you know, all that stuff. Like, just stay away from that. Like, just make a simple game. Like, you've got a gun, you can shoot a gun, that's it, you know. You've got a sword, you can swing it, you can put up a shield. You know, it's just like, did I hit the enemy? Yes or no. Did they hit me? Yes or no. And then, if you can do that, it'll be fine. I might put some more trees at the end there. I'll just leave that as a reference. Probably put another palm tree here as well. Oh nice, I'll have to check it out, but yes, things can be a bit too specific. And it's not like Unity or Unreal, which I'm sure has many online tutorials, but Dreams, nah. Yeah, it's like there used to be a couple of YouTubers that specialised in Dreams tutorials. Like with some are mostly with logic, to be honest, but you could try and get ones that had like animation tutorials and all these kind of things. So it's like they kind of existed, but obviously if you're the more specific you get, you're just not going to find it, or you're going to have to get something that's close to what you want and then veer off and do your own thing. But I'm not good at logic, but I'm sure I can figure out most things. It's just, when you look at all these advanced users that make all this complicated gameplay, like I'm not going to be able to get even close to that, you know. But at the end of the day, that a complex game does not mean it's a better game, you know. Right, so I'm probably going to put that big ship here. Let's just say it's kind of stranded like that, maybe, you know. But you're not going to get through this point. I'm probably just going to put like more rocks and stuff, you know. Maybe a wee palm tree there, you know. So if you're standing here, you're not going to see the ship, but you'll see that other island over there. You'll see like, okay, there is more things around there. This is the part where I'm just making like background details, you know, like, okay, there's another island there, but there's nothing really on it, you know. But it's just to show there is other things going on, you know, here and there. I'll probably just copy this more then, because let's see how that looks. Yeah, I don't want it to get too close, you know. So I'll probably put just some trees and stuff on them. I'm probably not going to do anything too crazy. Just to give it some more depth. But some of these islands you're going to get to, so I'll need to make it so that it's more interesting to actually walk towards, you know. So I'll make another island here. I'll see if that's too far. I don't know how far that is, but obviously I'm going to make like a proper detailed path. Like, this is just me creating stupid templates for now, you know, so just to create like a little path towards the island, you know. I don't know if I'm going to make it that far away though, that might be a wee bit too far. It's just to get a structure going, you know. I found a lot of those tutorials never covered the stuff I wanted explained yet. There were a fair amount of them, but those YouTubers seem to have vanished. Oh yeah, there was like, what was he called? Neon the Coder? He did a lot of logic stuff, but my criticism with his videos was that his tutorials used to last like an hour. They were so long, like, and I don't have the patience. And sometimes he would make mistakes and then he would like correct himself later, and then it's like, I've just followed you and I made the same mistake, now I'm going to have to go back and correct that. And you know, like, I prefer more edited tutorials, not like, okay, I'm going to live do this and make mistakes and then fix them, and then it's a long video, it's a lot to take in. So I prefer it's more edited and it's like, okay, step 1 do this, step 2 do that, you know, get to the point, you know. No loyalty to Dreams, eh? I know some people were just using Dreams to get popular, I guess, you know. And then as soon as Dreams kind of faded, they just kind of left, you know. I think we know who we're talking about here, but there was somebody that was pretty big with Dreams and just kind of vanished, you know. But hey, we're the real originals, do you know what I mean? Because even though Dreams is becoming a bit of a disaster, like we're still around, we're still doing our part, you know, we're not taking it that seriously anymore, but we're here because we still love and appreciate what it is, you know, like we're not just, like, even though I do YouTube, like, I'm not doing this because it's like, oh, Dreams is going to make me famous or give me views and stuff. It's like, I love to create, and it's amazing that we can do it together, you know, and share our projects, and for me that's the amazing part. Hey Reckley, nice to see you again. Hope you're keeping well. We're making some crazy fleshed out beach with some cliffs and things like that. It looks like utter trash right now, but you know, that's a block out for you. Once we get started on making the assets and finalising where everything's going to go, then I'll start to, you know, make proper sand and rocks and palm trees and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be beautiful. I do miss the buzz that was around Dreams at the time though, long gone now. Yeah, and I was watching that Mark Healy interview he did. If you've not seen it yet, I think it's called Min Max, the channel. Check it out because it's like an hour long, but it flies by. He talks a lot about, like, not just his career in Little Big Planet, but Dreams as well. And even he admits that everything we were saying about it, like, was valid. Like, it needed online multiplayer because Roblox, Fortnite all have multiplayer. They did extremely well. Same with Minecraft. Dreams needed online multiplayer, and he also said he wanted to call Dreams Little Big Planet 3 or 4, which would have been great because it would have sold a lot better just on the name alone. And he wanted Sackboy to be the mascot for the game. He said he mentioned it a couple of times, but he didn't really push for it. He just kind of thought it would be a good idea. And a lot of people at the studio were saying, like, nah, we don't want Sackboy, we don't want Little Big Planet, we want Dreams to have its own identity. So these people that said that, clearly they made a huge mistake because they just dug themselves into a big marketing hole. Like, how can you market Dreams? You don't have Sackboy, you don't have Little Big Planet. Why walk away from that? I've always found that strange. Like, why were they so ashamed to drop Little Big Planet for a completely new IP called Dreams? Why not just keep Little Big Planet? What's the problem? You know, like, why did they feel like they were shackled to this one creation and they wanted to do something different? Like, they could have made a huge success with Sackboy, Little Big Planet, online multiplayer. Just make a Little Big Planet game like this. Look and see, instead of this imp, it could just be Sackboy flying around. Press square, it opens up the wee pop-it. You know what I mean? And he can land anywhere he wants, he can run about. We don't need to use a puppet, we could just use Sackboy. You know, what's the problem? You know? Like, it blows my mind how many mistakes were made with this game. Like, it could have been so much better, you know? And I remember when I used to, like, openly criticise it and say, like, oh, this is what it needs. You know, there was a lot of people that were bashing me and saying bad things because it's like I don't have any respect for Media Molecule and all these kind of things, which is nonsense, you know, because I'm like one of their biggest supporters, you know what I mean? Little Big Planet, Tearaway, Dreams, been there, done it all. But it's just obvious that this game needed certain things, you know, to make it more successful. Do you know what I mean? That's just obvious. Shame, yep. Dreams is a massive shame. We have still got it, which is good, but you know, it could have been so much more. Big shame. Hello, Hal Schmoomin, greetings, welcome. We're just finishing off the level design for the islands now. I added another section here, so when you get up here onto this mountain, cliff, whatever, you can go this way on another bridge, takes you here. I don't know why, but we'll figure something out. But yeah, just fleshing out some of these islands, because I'm going to make some side content, so I need to make a few little locations. So even though I'm making a cove here, it's not going to be like a, you know, this vast kind of area, you know. I'm just going to make something that you can enter, you can do the side quest, and then that's that. Ah, nice, so many missed opportunities, exactly. Absolutely, marketing is so important, and the LBP name could have elevated it so much higher. I'm curious on the sales numbers. Did they not bother pushing these essential features because of sales? I mean, if they did this before, they could have made more sales, you know? I think Mark Healy was saying, like, they already spent so many years developing Dreams that by the point it got into early access and the full release, like, they already went a bit too far with development, you know. So they said that they had online multiplayer working and everything, it probably just needed a little bit more time, but they just, I think he said they used up too much time basically, and Sony were just like, okay, we gave you more time because we, you know, we love Media Molecule, but enough's enough, you know. But Sony have been closing down loads of studios, like they closed that London, Sony London or whatever it's called. They were making VR games, and they're being quite ruthless right now, you know. And you've seen that whole thing about Helldivers on the PC. They're basically saying like, oh, you have to create a PSN account if you want to play Helldivers on the PC, and everyone went crazy and they started giving it like negative Steam reviews, and then a few days later Sony were like, oh, we're sorry, we're not going to do that anymore, we changed our minds, please don't review bomb our game. But now tons of countries can't play it because it's not in a PSN region, so Sony, they're just doing stupid things, man. Like, I really like the PS5, but man, they're making a lot of mistakes, not just with the games they're putting out. Like, if they actually remake the first Horizon Zero Dawn, I'm out, because do we need that game? No. It's ridiculous. I'm honestly like, I've got a Steam Deck which I use a lot, and I'm honestly thinking about getting the Switch 2 when it comes out, because I think it'll provide better value than what the PS5's giving me right now, because I'm still playing PS5 games, but it's mostly like games that are also on PS4, and obviously Dreams is like the one I play the most now. Right, looks like a mad squid from up here. I still don't know how this is going to be on the inside, so this might get expanded a little bit. But yeah, I don't think Dreams sold well at all. I think it's been a massive failure. I agree with Extreme. I'm not sure what that says. Colin does too, such a waste. I had no interest in Sackboy's Big Adventure or Run Sackboy Run, etc. Sackboy's Big Adventure, like, if you take it as its own thing, it's a really good game. It's just like a Mario kind of game, like a 3D Mario game that you can play. I think you can play up to 4 players. I played it with my wife on 2-player, it was really fun. So if you like the 3D Mario games and you want a Sackboy version, it is really good, but obviously it's not a Create game, so it's this whole other thing, you know. But I wouldn't mind another Sackboy game. But obviously it's something you complete and you're done with it. It's not like this where you can play it for years. Playing anything particular on your deck? To be honest, my Steam library is pretty thin. It's really old. It's stuff like Left 4 Dead and, you know, the original Alan Wake. You know, things that I couldn't get on the PlayStation. So most of my deck stuff, I usually just play remote play from the PlayStation or the Xbox. Because sometimes I don't have access to the TV, so I just play on the deck. It's pretty cool. Obviously I use a lot of emulation to play a lot of games, you know, from different consoles, and it's pretty damn good. Plus you can go into desktop mode, and I was learning Blender. I was going to download Unreal Engine. I read that Unreal Engine 5, you can run it on the Steam Deck. It's not perfect, but depending on the size of your project. But then I got sick, and obviously everything that happened, I didn't want the stress of having to learn game dev like that, you know, so that's been postponed for now. But I did download Godot. I might give that a go casually, and then if I can actually make a few things, then I might transition to like Unity or Unreal at some point. But I'm not in any rush. But the deck is really good. But if you're going to get a deck, I would wait for the deck 2, because then it'll be more powerful. And if you are interested in remote play and emulation and having it as a desktop PC, like a portable PC that you can plug into your monitor, then it is really good. And it's a good price as well for like a PC at around 300, 400 quid. It's pretty good. Definitely Dreams was on sale a fair amount, even early after release, which had me worried. Yeah, plus most of us that were enthusiastic about it bought it in the early access, and I think it was already cheaper during early access. I can't remember how much it was discounted, if it was like £10 or something, but I think a lot of us got it during that period. LBP should have never left MM, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know why they decided, oh, let's do something different. Why? You're basically making the exact same game but in 3D. So why not just make Little Big Planet like 3 or 4, or you could have called it Little Big Planet 3D World or something, I don't know. It just, I don't know, they just made it hard for themselves. Or not, let's start a brand new franchise. Let's make it more complicated, you know, no online multiplayer. It's like, how can we make this even harder for ourselves, you know? It's just, oh man, I can't even imagine. I don't know why. Don't know why. But like Alex Evans said a little while ago, he basically said, like, some people in Media Molecule wanted Dreams to be just a stupid little game, you know, like a little hobby thing, like, and that was it. And then other people were like, nah, we want to use the potential of Dreams and make like a proper game dev tool that can also be a game. So there was like lots of conflict in the studio on what exactly Dreams was supposed to be. Obviously I'm on the camp where I wanted them to be a full-on game dev tool that could have been good for gaming with Sackboy and stuff like that as well, you know. But it was not to be. I'm gonna make this. In fact, I'll just make this. Oh, make this one bigger. This one over here. I'm gonna make the the Crab Island. Another wee path here. Get Stephen Fry back for the narration again. I know there's another thing. Why did they get rid of Stephen Fry? What the hell, you know? Again, just making things more complicated. Right, so I'll need to put another path on this side to get to the Mad Crab Island. What I might do actually, hold on. Make a smaller island, maybe just to add a wee bit of variety. Rather than just being one big path, just make it like a path that goes to a smaller island. And then another path that leads off to the other one. Okay. Absolutely, Stu. The Dreams narrator and the overall tone was so cringe, like it was made for 5-year-olds. And they kept changing it as well, because I'm sure they had like so many different intros to the game, and they kept updating it and, you know, restarting it over and over again. It was like, do you know what I mean? It just didn't have the direction it needed. It was just like all over the place. You know, it's like it's a big lesson, I think, for a lot of people there. But a lot of people have left MM now, and what worries me about their future is like this next game they're making. It's make or break. I think Sony are like, okay, you get one more chance to make a successful game, go. And if they don't do it, I think they're basically done. You know, I think Mark Healy as well, he said that on one hand he's like, don't worry about MM, I'm sure their next project's going to be great, but at the same time he left because of this new project, you know, because he said it's too safe. It's too safe of a project. It's more of a traditional game, and he's just not about that. You know, he wants to push the boundaries and make some crazy stuff. And I think this new project just doesn't let him do that. So I think that was one of the reasons, at least, why he left. And no doubt, probably other people left because of the same thing, you know. But it's a big shame. I don't want MM to be finished. I want their next game to be a success, even if it's not a create game. I think they're very creative people, but I think a lot of people left now, so it's like eventually it's going to become a different MM, you know? Is it going to have the same charm? I guess we'll just need to wait and see. Because I mean, most of the founders have left, right? I think the main issue with MM is they're way too ambitious. Dreams was pretty ambitious and they didn't even finish it in the end. Maybe the safe option is probably the best way to go for them. Yeah. I think, how safe are we talking? Because like Tearaway is more safe because it's more traditional, but is that going to sell lots of copies? I don't know. Like, if you look at like Naughty Dog, they used to make Jak and Daxter, Crash Bandicoot. But ever since they got to the PS3, they just make Uncharted, The Last of Us, you know, like these ultra realistic games, and people were like, "Oh, make a Jak and Daxter 4," and they said they kept trying to make it, but they just never could. So I don't know if these companies even want to make these kind of games anymore, like more cartoony, you know, whimsical kind of games. Like, is it still going to be a success, or if you're on PlayStation, do you need to make everything like God of War, Uncharted? You know, like all of their big games are like super realistic, cinematic kind of games. I think if you want to succeed with these kind of cartoony games, you need to be on Nintendo, you know, because that's what the audience expects. Whereas on PlayStation and Xbox, it's all about shooting and murder. They should have had Dreams free for all, encouraged to play. Charge us creators. Yeah, I mean, they had the free to play version. That was a, I don't know why they didn't do it. They released a demo that they updated with like certain a curated selection of games, but obviously that's not, it's not what we asked for, really. And now the game is on PlayStation. It was on PlayStation Plus Essential, and I think they also added it to Extra as well. So I guess a lot of people picked it up when it was on Essential, and now if you didn't, you can get it on Extra if you do the monthly sub. But I would just like give it to everyone for free. Like, if the game's not selling, just, you've got nothing to lose, you know? Just give it to everybody. And if it still doesn't do anything, then, you know, at least you gave everyone a shot. They needed to think different about how to profit from Dreams' possibilities. Yeah, plus they had no DLC avenue or angle, because like on Little Big Planet they used to sell a lot of level kits, and I literally bought them all. So these level kits, that was like new story levels, plus you got new materials and music and sound effects and music and tons of stuff. Obviously you can't really do that in Dreams because everybody can make things like on their own, you know, and you can't get textures in Dreams, so the materials are redundant. So they couldn't really sell more story modes, you know. And Sackboy, you could customize them, Sackboy, Sackgirl, whatever, and you could buy like lots of costumes, and you didn't even need to like use the specific costume. You could just use like pieces of it. So if this character had a really nice hat, you could use the hat and then use other costume materials and make your own characters, and you could buy new accessories that you could attach to your character, and stickers and all these kind of things. So the imp, like, they didn't even sell anything for the imp, you know. But even then, that was another way they made money in Little Big Planet. Costumes, level packs, creation kits. Dreams just, it gave you everything, so it was like, plus you didn't have a customizable character. Like, even the imp, you can't properly customize it. You have to, like, it's like a carousel. You just need to choose like a random selection. So like my imp, red, he's got the kind of splatty texture, he's got the sunglasses. If you go through the carousel, it's like, you're not going to find exactly the one I've got, you know. So why not let us customize? Why did it have to be random? Me Too Man had everything but the crown. I know, I'd love a crown, but it's gone now. They should have monetized the imps, sell really cool imps for 99p to get some money rolling in. I don't know why they didn't do it. I would have bought some, like, if they were licensed. Like, can you imagine, like, Final Fantasy characters? Ooh. Like, you could buy, like, a pack of, like, 5, and even if I'm only interested in using, like, Cloud, I would still buy all 5, because it's like, I just need to have them all. You know, it's like a collectible thing. I was waiting patiently for at least some good customizations for the imp. Yeah, and it never happened. Just all randomized crap, right? Right, so there's the cove. That's going to take you to the Crab Island. This was going to be like a more wooded kind of area that you could explore, just to have something a little bit different. I'm not even sure. I was going to do like maybe one more island, but not side quest related, you know, it was just like, how about a skull cave? Reckley, we're on the same page here. Basically, right, I had this idea that this face here of the cliff, I wanted that to be a skull. So when the player kind of walks around and looks up, oh my god, there's a massive skull here. But my problem is, I cannot sculpt skulls. I can't even make characters, so like, just thinking about a skull is like blowing my brain right now. But that is the idea, like to put a big skull here, like something kind of chiseled away, you know? But that would be really cool if I could transform this into like a skull. I'll see what I can do. I'm sure if I take my time, I could make it and sort of blend it in with the rest of the cliff face, you know. But yeah, that would be pretty nice. Because some of the ideas I've got here, I wanted to create like a little. This is supposed to be like not just a shore, but a dock. So that's something I need to do. I need to. I think I'll make like a little pier, you know, off to the side here, or maybe make a couple. So there's like one here, and you know, just make a few kind of here and there, you know, little docks. And then I wanted to have like a little stall here where it was like you basically pay to park at the shore, you know. But it's closed because the guy's dead, you know. Closed because I'm dead. You also need a beached ship that you can go inside. Oh, I've got one here that's kind of stranded. Maybe I'll make it like it's kind of open so you can actually go inside. And our little guy is going to have like a little rowing boat here that he took, because his ship's like over here, you know. But I'm going to make it so like something's happened basically that made it so that they can't just dock here, you know, like I want to make like these big killer whales that kind of come out of the ocean, you know. I want to make it like this island is basically became like Death Island, you know. Like you do not want to be stranded here. And I'll also need to flesh out the back of this, because I don't want it to be like that's the end of the island. I want this to be like just the intro to the island, and then once you go through the cavern, it's basically going to take you onto like the big mainland. So I'm probably going to have to create like, you know, like a big kind of wall, you know. Just move this island so I can do that. So, do you know what I mean? I'm just going to create like more sort of cliffs just get rid of that. Just to kind of show you that you couldn't dock over here, you know, like this is all blocked, like you kind of had to dock at that main part. That's the only way you can get in. It's very closed off. Obviously, if we have this crab island, I need to fit that in a bit more. I could move this over a bit. You know what, I'll do it more like this. So it doesn't have to be symmetrical, but you get the idea that it's kind of blocked off. But I'll probably move this over a bit because it's a bit too close to the edge, you know. I want to create a little bit of a distance, you know. Maybe move it over a bit more. Right, I'm just going to quickly save because knowing me, I'll forget and it will crash. So I'll maybe create like that little stall. I'll just pretend this is the stall, right? It's kind of here. And it's closed because the guy's dead, right? And he can have like some extra supplies like around here, you know? Some rope and whatever. How many objects is this made up of so far? Well, this is really just me copying and pasting like the same kind of crap, you know. I'll need to actually create a list of everything I'm actually going to make. Where is it? There. Because obviously the block out is very low, like... Never mind the graphics, because that'll go down. Same with the gameplay. But I'm just going to make like one sort of cliff edge that I'll use for the walls and the floor. I'll have the sand. I'll have the trees, the rocks, the treasure chest. Some planks for this. I'll have some kind of like sort of like spiky grass. I'll have some seashells. What else? Just try to think. Because I'll probably just make like one variety of a rock and just like every side will look a bit different, so then I can just flip it around and change the size. Because when you make a big environment like this, you kind of need to make sure that you are reusing the same assets over and over again. Just make them look slightly different at different angles, and that way you can probably get away with a lot of stuff, you know. Because if you're making a more dense environment, like with the survival horror game, it's like you go in a room, and if it's an office, it's got tons of things that you can add. Whereas if it's a more natural environment like this, it's probably not going to have that much of a variety. It's just going to repeat the same kind of stuff, you know, around. And anything man-made, I'll probably add some detail to this little shack here. A few objects here and there, you know, like we've obviously got the rowing boat. I'll create like the paddles and stuff. Maybe there's like some paddles here, you know. Given up on Dreams tonight, spent an hour trying to find a damn text box placed somewhere clever. Oh god, that's my nightmare. Because if you get like where is text boxes in here? Text displayer. It's like you could make. Look how small I can make this. Look at the state of that. Look, I can barely see it. Look, look, I can't even see it anymore. Where is it? It's right there. Look. I can't even zoom in on it. It's like, look, I can't even see. Where is it? So honestly, I can't even see it anymore. So if I had a text box like that, oh my god, that would be a nightmare. You would never find it. You would just never find it. Thank god I can undo what I just did. But that would be a nightmare. Imagine we did have online multiplayer and you just went into people's levels and you just put text boxes and stuff. You minimised them like to so small that you just can't find it. Because you could literally just go like right to the edge of the map, you know what I mean? You could go like way over here, you know, and put like the tiniest microchip here or text box and make it so small that you can't find it, you know? And then you're screwed. That would be the ultimate troll. That's annoying. Oh yeah. You could have like 1,000 of those tiny text boxes hidden to cause some brutal lag. Oh my god. Oh, can you imagine? That's why everything I make now, if you're going to make a text box, let's keep it big. So there you go, Stu. Right, future reference. Keep your text boxes huge. So even if you zoom out, look, you can see it. There we go. Problem solved for the future. But man, that does sound like a nightmare. Oh, I cannot imagine. Right, I don't want to waste time fleshing out this bloody thing. I'll just make it like that for now, right? And I'm going to just walk around. So I'm going to have our planks here. I'm going to have the wee shack here that lets you dock, and it's got some supplies around. And you know, I think that wall, I don't like it because I want you to see that there is more. There's more to the level. I want you to see this in the background, so I'm probably going to fill that up with like rocks and some palm trees and stuff, but it's basically going to block you so you can't actually go that way. So when we start, we'll have our little rowing boat here. I'll probably make like the docks all destroyed as well, like all the wood has started to rot and fall off, and like I said, I want like a big whale to kind of jump about, you know, coming out of the ocean like, and it's very dangerous, you know. So obviously you take a rowing boat, the most fragile boat of all, to get here. So you'll see your big main ship over there, the rowing boat. If you look up here, it looks a bit more like a dead end. I think I'll do the same on this side. I'll just kind of... I'll still need to expand this bit a little bit, I think. Just want it to, so like if you look up one end you can see it kind of stretches on and you can see the other islands. I'll delete these now, don't need them anymore. So you can kind of see like, okay, there's a couple of islands over there. If you come to the edge of this pier you can see, oh, there's more round on that side. Obviously I'll curve this beach a little bit to make it a bit easier. If you look this way, you've got the stall, you've got some things blocking you, but again, it doesn't matter if it blocks too much because you can go on the little pier here and you can clearly see there's more beach down this way, and you can see the Sirens Cove in the distance. Plus there's little islands here and there where your ship. Love it. I wish I made them huge. I know. That's what you're going to have to do from now on. You're going to have to make them bloody massive. So yeah, I'll fill this out with like rocks and seashells and, you know, supplies from this dock, whatever. And then we're going to kind of go through this little through this cliff here. I don't know what's going to be here. It's probably just going to be more rocks and stuff, but as soon as you come out you're going to look, and here I want there to be like a, it's going to look like a forest, you know, so like I'm just going to like put like a placeholder for a little tree right here. And that's going to be like full of trees, so I'll probably block it out and then just pretend they're trees, and then it's going to be like you can actually go inside, and I don't know what's going to be inside here. There's going to be something crazy. But yeah, as soon as you come out here, you're going to be like, oh look, I can reach that other island, and it's full of trees. Let's explore around that area and inside the trees as well, see what's in there. I actually like see that I've put that cliff on the very back. It actually looks a lot better now, because it does look like you're coming up against this big castle, you know. So you can still see there's some islands around, especially if you come over to this side. You can see the islands that you can't reach. They'll have some trees and stuff on them as well. You can see your ship is around there, you know. See, I like to like connect things, so it's like it's not all smoke and mirrors. You can actually see like, oh, there's the ship, there's the other part of the island. So we'll explore this bit with lots of trees and maybe put a side quest here. Obviously if you're coming back, that's another thing that by accident I've just noticed, like when you finish this area, when you turn back, you can actually see the slope that goes up the cliff, so that's pretty handy. I was not expecting that, but at least it's kind of noticeable, because if you come straight from this bit, you can kind of see there's an opening, but you most likely see this area first. But as you go up, eventually you will see this. So I'm probably going to put like little like posts here, maybe light them on fire, just to sort of say like this is where you go for the main quest, you know. So you could go up this way, like I said, you don't have to go up that way. And this is where you're going to see like all the skeletons, all the rotten bodies. This is like the graveyard here. And obviously there was probably going to be like another little island there or something, just to like pick up a chest or something. And I just made this for now because I'm like, maybe I'll put like a little secret area here, just a little something, I don't know, we'll see, to reward people that like to explore. But if you don't go through this sort of graveyard section, but it's going to be cool if I can make a skull on that rock, that would be really nice. But this is the first combat area, so it's going to be like got some crabs here and there, maybe some killer seagulls or something flying about. I don't know how difficult it will be to make AI for a flying enemy, but we'll see. So that's what I'll do. I'll make like some crabs here and maybe some seagulls. But then eventually we'll kind of climb up this sort of cliff here. It needs a bit of refinement. But then we'll come down, and it was like I'll need to fix this bit here because this is a bit high now, because I put a new idea to put like a bridge there. So when you basically ascend to this part, obviously you're going to see the skull in full view, and it's like, this is obviously the way you're supposed to go, you know, that's the main landmark. But obviously if you explore, if you go up this way, you'll find a chest. Again, you can see parts of the island, you'll see the forest bit there. Again, you'll see like there's other little bits around the side here that you could maybe go to. And then if you don't want to follow the main path, you could cross this bridge here. And again, you can see a lot of things from here. So if you came from the bottom part, you would see things as you turn round, but up here it's like, oh cool, there's like a whole other section here, so we can see the Siren's Cove over there. We can see the ship that's kind of, the shipwreck that's there. You know, we'll probably put a few things here and there, some more crabs and whatever. And we can see there's obviously more stuff to explore down that end as well. But if we explore up this cliff as well, not sure what I'm going to put up here, if it's going to be related to a side quest or if it's just going to be another chest or whatever, but there'll be something here. And this will obviously give you a better view of like the other islands over here, the Crab Island I'm calling it. And then you're obviously going to see the Siren's Cove, so and I'll build the main sort of cliff a bit higher, and you can clearly see as well, like if you go up here first, you can see like when you cross the bridge, you can see like, oh, I'm supposed to go up this path here. So you can clearly see like, okay, I need to go up and round and find my way to get to the top there. I don't think I'm going to put fall damage in the game, so I'm going to make it quite free. So if you want to just, you know, I can't do it here obviously because I need to disable it from the puppet. But if you do jump down, I'll quickly get his background again. This will probably be the sprint speed for the character as well. You'll probably have unlimited sprint, so you can pretty much have no restrictions. So this part here I'll need to flesh out a bit more. I'll need to do something here, you know, to make it more interesting. But this is going to be like getting over to the Crab Island. This is where the King Crab is going to live. You know, got a wee island here, some trees, some rocks. And then we'll go up this way. It's quite a large kind of area here as well, so you're probably going to fight a lot of crabs just to get across to this area. I might shorten it a bit if it is a bit too long. Obviously the size of this island is a bit big, but then obviously you've got the other section over there, and I'll probably make it like a bit shorter, but there'll be like a lot of combat here to get to the King Crab. I'm not sure if I'm going to make fast travel, because when the full chapter comes out, probably fast travel, so you can go to like different scenes. But I don't know if I'm going to do like fast travel in the one area. So like there's a fast travel point at the Crab Island, there's one at the beach port, there's one at the top of the cliff. You know, I don't know if I'll do that. But obviously here you'll fight more crabs. You'll see the shipwreck here. So yeah, that would be good if you could, like, some of it's damaged and you can actually enter like the bottom of it and get in, check out the cargo and stuff like that. Maybe some of the cabins. That would be quite cool. And then obviously if you take a wee detour over here, we can get to the cove. What I might do, like, see if the king crab is massive, I might make it so you can actually see it from the distance, you know, this big massive crab just sort of sitting there, and it's like, oh, I need to go over there and check that out. So yeah, once you get to this Siren's Cove, I've made it like an arena, because it's probably going to be a boss battle. You're going to fight this siren. I just don't know if I'm going to make it more like an intricate level that you need to navigate and then you fight it in an arena. But so far I'm just going to like fill it with like rocks, and at the end here there's going to be like a pool of water because the siren's going to come out of the water. But so far I'll keep it like an arena. But yeah, I'll definitely, let me see, if I just get like a block, right, we'll pretend this is the king crab, right, he's massive, right. I think if we're here, yeah, if you see a crab that's that size, I mean, my god, that would be, you would want to go there, do you know what I mean? You would be like, how did I get there? So you're going to have to come around here, and when you get to here you're like, I think that's more interesting, because if you're just looking at these little islands, maybe you're like, is it really worth me going all the way over here? But if you see a massive crab, it's like, I need to get there. So you're fighting all the little crabs to get there, and then eventually you'll fight this big one, and he has like a big clam throne or something, I don't know. So yeah, I think all the side stuff's coming together now, more or less. I'll just make like another stupid little island there. But yeah, a lot of the side content is kind of fleshed out now. There's enough to explore, there's enough to see in the background, and then obviously when you climb up the main cliff, there's going to be like a few pockets, little caves that you can go in just to get a few things, and you kind of just make your way up here, and you make your way through this part here, you keep climbing, get to the top, and then this will be like where you enter the next scene, and it's going to be like a vast cavern system that also has like it was the House Moomin that suggested we made like an underwater kingdom or something. So I'll probably do that in like inside the cavern. There's like some kind of pedestal that you activate, and it takes you down into like the underwater section. Because I think this area has enough content already. I think once I flesh all this out and add all the quests and the enemies and stuff, I think it'll be a decent length. There's enough to do. And then when we do the cavern system, we can really make a big system with the underground city, and eventually the cavern will take you out into like the large sort of plains, big field area. So I think it's a decent kind of plan. So obviously I still need to finalise like where everything's going to go, so I don't want to like plot down like the trees and stuff for now. I'm going to wait until I've really finalised how everything's going to be, and then I'll start to replace everything. But I can start to make some assets and just make like a collection of them here, at least, so then they're ready, and then once the level design is complete, I can copy these assets around and make everything look really nice. It's just the sand, I don't know what I'm going to do for the sand, because right now I'm just using this like this singular rectangle. I don't know if I should just edit the one rectangle, you know, or if I should just create like smaller chunks, you know, like little circles, ovals or whatever, you know, kind of like the cookie shape. Make like sand like that, and just like make tons and tons of them, you know. So on one hand, making tons of them is a lot. So if I need to move them, I need to move a lot, you know. It's whereas if I just keep the one singular sculpt, I think the sculpt detail might get too high at some point. If I add too much detail and too much painting, it might be just a bit too much. But I wasn't really going to do too much. I was just going to add some lumps to the sand, just so it wasn't all flat. And then I was going to like draw like little, little lines in the sand, and maybe there's like some details, or like you get those little sandworms. I could maybe draw like some of those things here and there. And we had an idea to write, like someone wrote like help on the shore or something with a stick. Maybe they spelt it wrong. But yeah, there's a lot of little details I want to add to the sand. Just so it's not just one big flat plane, you know. It's nice to have some variation in the levels and the detail. But I think it's okay so far. I'll just need to figure out exactly what kind of what art style I'm going to go for. If I'm going to go like full on realistic, or if I'm going to go for something a bit more stylized, a bit more colourful. That's the only thing I'll need to think about now. So I'll need to create like a list of things that I need. So let me have a look. I'm going to have a look at little things I can add. Hold on. Beach rock, for example. I'm going to get some examples. Because I mean, anybody could sculpt a rock, right? But I'm trying to be very specific here. Right, so there's a few different kinds. You can make one that's more like an oval shape and just kind of layer it on top of each other. Then you've got rocks that are more like, kind of like big hexagons that are kind of clumped together, you know, they're more rough. Like I said, I want to try and make like one style of rock. I don't really want to make too many rocks because I want to try and keep the thermal as low as possible. So let me see if I can just. I think what I'll do is I'll make like the oval kind of rocks for the ground, and then I'll make like the sort of hexagon sharp ones for like the walls and stuff. And you can always mix and match the two, I suppose. The funny thing is, right, I don't really make environmental things very often. I just make like tables and chairs and, you know, like man-made things. I don't really make like trees and rocks and stuff, so I'm gonna have to bear with me. This could turn out good or terrible, you know. I think that the best thing to do is just go with the flow. I think don't really worry too much about it. Let me see. Hard blend would maybe be good for a rock, I think, right? Because you don't really want it to be smooth, right? You want it to be a bit tougher, you know. It's just about finding that balance, like. Do you know what I mean? Like how far do I take it? Because like I could do that. See if I do that. Like that already looks like a rock to me. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean? That looks like it did most of the work for me. You know? Do you know what I mean? It saves me having to do like tons of work on it. You know? It's already kind of got a nice balance to the shape. I just need to add a few other details here so it's not like super flat on the surface maybe. But I don't know, I'm just like try see what works, you know, like, cause I really don't know what I'm doing half the time here. I think that's what art is most of the time, isn't it? It's just like experimenting and seeing roughly what works and accidentally making things, you know. Don't know what I'm going to do here. Just what I did, I don't know, make it so like it's a little bit different on the top and the bottom, you know, so that I can make something unique if I need to turn it around, you know. I need to put the studio lighting on because the shadow was bugging me. Let's see. Because I can always like change the smoothness, but I'll keep it up high. Just can't do that because look, it looks good, but then you've got that other bit that just kind of points out. Maybe I think last time I made rocks, I just went crazy and I just put things everywhere. You know, I was like, I got to the point where I just stopped caring, you know. You don't want to take it too far, you know. I don't know, it's a weird rock, but I don't know. I guess you'll never be satisfied, you know. could be doing this forever, you know. So like just an example, when you turn it upside down, and it's going to look a wee bit different from the other one, you know. And obviously we can have like bigger rocks, can rotate them a little bit, you know. Make them a bit smaller. But yeah, and then you can obviously you can combine them together to make something a bit more unique, you know. But that's something I'll play around with. Obviously I'll texture it later when I decide on my art style. So for the one for the wall is going to be a bit tougher, I think. Oops. I could use squares. I don't know if I should use the hexagon because it's got more sharp edges, so maybe it looks a bit better, you know. Let me see, I don't know how big I should make it. Can I just try to make something kind of acceptable? I think maybe put the blend down a little bit, maybe it's a bit too much. Like I'm not going to make like the full wall in one go here, but I guess that kind of looks okay. This is the part where the stream starts to glitch, you know, the old chat starts to appear on the screen. I don't know why it's doing that. You could colour these purple, shiny, and they'd make perfect crystals. Yeah, that would be cool as well. That would be another cool way to like reuse assets, because you could make like something that's like a rock and then you just change the colour and the shininess and it becomes something completely different, you know. So even if I rotate it, it kind of creates this other effect on the top, which is kind of cool. But if there's going to be a path on the top, well, maybe there's not going to be a path, but obviously I'd probably need to change the shape, right? Like, just to make it a bit flatter on the top. Like, I could cut the top, but I'm trying to make it so that it's more organic, do you know what I mean? I love how it just kind of like splats down, like, blah. How cool would it be to animate that? That would be so cool. Blah. Just try and make it a little flatter on the top, that's all, you know. But honestly, like, this is my first time doing any of this kind of stuff, so, you know, just experimenting. Hold on. Let me make it a little wider so I can cover the whole thing, maybe. I'm going to have to make it a bit thinner because it's hard to see, because when you start blending it, it starts to expand quite a lot, you know. Just to kind of make it a bit flatter, you know. Just in case I want you to walk on this bit, you know. Because I'll probably make like a separate path anyway, you know. This is really just for the sides, you know. So I would just kind of use this for the wall, you know. I don't know if I would like stretch it up like and make it like this, you know, or if I would do like smaller ones and, you know, duplicate it so I can make something that's a little more funky, you know, like that, you know. But that takes more work, so we'll see. But this just gives us the general idea of what I'm going for here, you know. And obviously I'm going to put like lots of grass and moss and all these kind of things, so it's going to be more interesting once it's like all painted. But I mean, like, even now, like, you can see from like the block out part to this part that just has like a more refined wall and some rocks. Like, it's already, you can already see it starting to take shape, you know. And once we colour all this in and add some more texture, and, you know, I'll make these rocks a bit more rough and, you know, do all the magic lightsaber stuff to put holes in it and all that. I think it will look pretty good. It's all just tweaking until it looks good. Yeah, exactly. And I think, like, just firing things down, like, see if you're too precise about placing things, like, I think you should just like fire everything in, twist it round, and eventually you'll come up with a shape that looks kind of decent, you know. So we obviously need to get some shells and stuff. It's quite interesting. There's a picture here where like the stones, they're actually like different colours. So it's not just like white, black, brown. There's some that's like, they're kind of stained. So like some of them are like a toothpaste kind of colour, you know what I mean? It's like kind of white, but then it's got like little bits of blue, and there's another one that's like red, and it's got like some bits of grey going through it, and there's like a baby blue kind of stone. I think making like really colourful stones would be pretty cool. Wouldn't look so boring, you know. Would add to the fantasy atmosphere as well. Let me see here. Seashells. That's another thing I could add, like big massive jellyfish on the sand as well, you know. You stand on it, you get electrified. Let's see. Seashells. Man, Reckley, you would love to sculpt some seashells. I'm looking at the detail right now, and there's some here that look really cool. Really, really cool. I think you'd love to dabble in this. Like, I'm not going to make a good seashell, I can tell you that, but it's fun to try. Obviously I'll make this one big for now, right? But it's just kind of like, let me see. I don't know how much I'm going to make the blend. I think I'll make it quite minimal, just like enough, you know. Since this is going to be like a really crinkly game as well, like I've got some liberty where I can just make like some really weird stuff, you know. Like, this is like super funky. I'm literally just winging this, by the way. And then if I like, let me see. Need to think of a way to like cut and make it look good, man. Like, let me see. Because the shell, it's got like a really funky shape. I don't know if I'm going to do this justice. The thing is, like, because of the way the sculpt is, like when you delete it, it creates a thin edge, whereas, you know what, I think I'm going to have to make like another border to go around it, because I don't think this is good enough. That is one weird shell. Right, hold on, like, I know I put a deletion point, but can you make like another one on top of it without it? Right, hold on. Let me see if I can do something weird. I wanted to make like a rim around it, but it's too much, you know what I mean? It's just... You can probably see the idea I'm going for here. It's just because like I try to cut a big hole, but I want to put like... I could just go around this edge. You know? Can I edit this to change the inside size of this? Does it let you do that? Ah, it does, look. Right, right. This is basically what I wanted. I just wanted something more like this. Stupid camera. This is the bad thing about Dreams, man. The camera is a nightmare. It's hard to get it the way I want it as well. Oh god. It's not quite what I wanted, but it's... No, hold on. Change the deletion point, maybe I can fit it better around this point. It's going to take a lot of messing about, I think. Right, it's not ideal, but I think it kind of gets the job done a little bit. Just hate the bit that's kind of sticking out there, because then if I move it, it's not quite what I want. But I think the first time at making some kind of weird ass shell, it's kind of okay. Because I mean, this shell is going to be like this size, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just going to be like a little detail, you know? It's nothing to get worked up about. The Darth Maul tech, yeah, I love the Darth Maul tech. A seashell would be a nightmare to create. Yeah, I mean, you saw me try to do a really basic one, but I think if you were to really craft one, like the angles that it goes in and stuff, like you could make some really cool stuff. Plus, it'd be really fun to texture because they're they've got a lot of like crazy shades and stuff. Looks really nice. So I don't know how many of these shells I'm going to make. I'm probably going to make like the flat one, you know, the traditional one, let's say. And then I can like obviously put it down, face down, I can flip it up. There'll be the rocks, there'll be the grass, so I'll probably... The rocks, I don't know if I'll make any more rocks, because I think for me a rock is a rock, and like I said, I can manipulate this and, you know, create like my own kind of funky rocks, do you know what I mean? Like I don't actually need to make multiple rocks. But the seashell is more like specific, so I'm probably going to have to at least make one more, and then that'll give me a little bit of variety. And obviously if I paint them, the more you paint, the more the thermal goes up if you make multiple versions. So I'm going to try and paint like a neutral one and see if I can just change the colour and like in here, you know, just to change how it looks without repainting them all. And then I can make like a few different colours. You know, I think if I just change like the darkness, so you've got the light part and the dark parts, and then like little streaks, little lines, and if I think if I change the colour I can make different patterns and stuff without using more thermal. So I think that's good for the beach. One more shell, just use these rocks, use that cliff face. So yeah, I just need to make the grass, like the big, you know, that big dead kind of grass, big spiky grass. I'll make the wee stall, I'll make the planks here, the palm tree, that'll be fun to make, the chest, the sand. But I think by and large I've got like a rough idea of how this is going to piece together, you know. So yeah, it's just make a few more objects, get them textured, try and finalise this level design, make sure everything's nice the way it is, and then I'll just basically replace everything, and I think it'll look really good. So I think for the next stream, the third stream of this, it will basically be me just finishing off a few more assets, like I said, and then probably texturing them all, especially the sand. I want to get the sand done because that's like the main attraction. So I think that's what I'll do in the next stream. Finish the objects, texture them, have a walk around, make sure I'm happy with the layout of everything, and I'll put down like fake markers for like enemies. So like I'll say like, okay, there's going to be like an enemy here and here, do you know what I mean? Just to like plan the combat out a little bit. I think that'll be good, so I can like space everything out. So yeah, hopefully by the end of the next stream I'll have like everything set up and ready to go, so that maybe the stream after that I can start to just place everything down and see how it all looks, and then I can start working on the character, like the sword and the shield, the bow and arrow, create some of the enemies like the crabs, and then eventually get them animated and combat ready. Just a really simple AI. But yeah, I'm thinking by like stream 5 or stream 6 I should have something that's a bit more playable, something that looks a bit nice, you know, and then I'll release this as a playable scene. or a dream. At least you have a game plan. See, that's my problem. I've got a game plan, it's just my execution that's a bit flawed, you know. But hopefully I can get everything done as planned. So thanks again everyone for tuning in for today's stream. Like I said, next week we'll do more of the objects and the texturing, finalise a few of the level designs and things, get the quests planned out, and then I can like properly put in all the graphics, combat, the enemies, the inventory, all that stuff. But it's coming together nicely. Hopefully it does work itself out. But thanks again everyone for tuning in. Hopefully I can keep these live streams going consistently. We'll definitely go back to the survival horror game as well. Maybe when I finish this scene, maybe we'll go do a survival horror scene after it. We'll see what I'm in the mood for. But thanks again everyone. And I'll see you in the next stream. Loving the shell. A lot of cool stuff done in this stream. Yeah, it's all coming together now, so it's just about putting the graphical detail in, you know, and then I think it will look really nice. I think a lot of things will start to pop. You got some nice work done today, man. You take care. See you next stream. Thanks very much, Reckley. If you ever stream yourself, let me know. I'd love to see what you're up to. See you later, Stu. See you later, House Movement. Give Beuveretta a big smooch for me, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.